Next, we're going to take a look at some of the essay prompts, the essay topics that you may see on your exam. And we can basically organize these into 5 different types. The first one is 2 questions, and then causes and solutions, advantages plus disadvantages, discussion, and opinion. And we're going to go into a lot of detail about what those mean and how you can adjust your essay style to match each type of prompt. Let's look at some examples of the 2-question prompt. Read the first one with me. Some companies have uniforms for their staff, which must be worn at all times. What are the advantages for a company of having a uniform? Are there any benefits of having a uniform for the staff? So you can see here there are 2 questions, advantages for the company and benefits for the staff. That's why we call this a 2-question prompt. The next, some people fail in school but end up being successful in life. Why do you think that this is the case? What is the most important thing to succeed in life? So again, we can see 2 questions, why and what is the most important thing? So your essay must cover both of those questions. The next type is the causes or solutions essay. Read the first example with me. Some people think that the only way to have success in business is to have a unique product. What factors do you think influence the success of a company? Now, in this essay, you need to cover whatever factors you think are most important to a company's success. However, don't ignore that first sentence about unique product. So you must include unique product, whether you think that is, very influential or not. The unique product part must be included in your essay. Okay, so the essay covers whatever factors you think influence the success, but don't ignore that piece of the prompt, the unique product. The second example reads like this. The performance of staff can have a significant impact on the success of a company. What can companies do to increase staff productivity? So again, in this essay, we want to cover the solutions or the ways to increase staff productivity, methods that companies can use to increase staff productivity. Now again, don't ignore that first sentence. There should be something in your essay talking about how important it is for the staff, for the success of the company, to have good staff performance. You can cover that in the introduction, maybe in the conclusion. It needs to be included somewhere in your essay, why these things are important, why performance of staff has such an impact. However, the main point of this essay is the methods that companies can use to increase staff productivity. The next type, advantages and disadvantages. So read this first one with me. In many cities, old buildings are demolished and replaced with new buildings. What are the disadvantages of knocking down old buildings? Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? You can see a shift here. In this type of essay, we need to discuss both sides, advantages and disadvantages, but the essay asks your opinion. Look at that last question. Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? We're going to talk about this later. We need to make sure that our essay shows our opinion clearly. Okay, we'll talk about a way to do that soon. Look at the next one. Many countries aim to improve their living standard by economic development, but some important social values are lost as a result. Do you think the advantages of economic development outweigh the disadvantages? So again, we need to discuss both sides, advantages, disadvantages, but the essay prompt, the topic, asks us for our opinion. So we need to make that clear. Again, we'll talk about that later. The next type, discussion. Some people think that art is an essential subject for children at school, while others think it is a waste of time. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. Okay, so we have two sides of an issue, and we need to explain our opinion. It's a little bit similar to advantages and disadvantages, but this time it's just opinion. We don't have to discuss advantages and disadvantages. The next, discipline is an ever-increasing problem in modern schools. Some people think that discipline should be the responsibility of teachers, while others think that this is the role of parents. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. So again, one issue, school discipline, and two sides for that issue. We need to discuss both with our own opinion as well. Now, if you're wondering how to accomplish that, how can you discuss both sides and give your opinion in such a limited essay? Don't worry, we're going to discuss a very clear, easy method to do that. Now, the last type of essay prompt is just a straight opinion. Some people think that famous people in the media have no right to privacy. To what extent do you agree? Okay, do you agree a lot? Do you disagree a little bit? We want to know, what is your opinion? You have to make your opinion very clear here. The next, professional sports people are often idolized by young children. Some people think that they, therefore, have a responsibility to be good role models at all times for children. Do you agree or disagree? So again, we introduce an issue and we want to know what your opinion on that issue is.